We knew the Cubs had one star, and then we knew about PCA, but do they actually have four?
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day, alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. Today's episode is presented by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Fun off-day show for you. On today's show, we preview Cubs Twins, have fun with seventh inning stretch sound. And we start with the 54-36 Cubs, who have 6 games left before the All-Star break, beginning in Minneapolis this week, Target Field against the Twins, which we'll preview later. And we knew Kyle Tucker was a star player. And then Pete Crow-Armstrong emerged as the second star on this 2025 Cubs team. But in front of me, Sam, I have numbers to support Seiya and Michael Busch playing like stars too. And I think, to take some time to enjoy this and revel in it is helpful. And this is right now, but all 4 of these guys rank in the top 24 of all hitters in baseball. WRC plus, Busch 5th, Tucker 11th, Seiya 17th, PCA 24th. You want to look at OPS, Busch is again 5th. This is in all of baseball. Tucker 10, Seiya 14, PCA 22. We could even get into where Matthew Boyd and even a Daniel Palencia stack up in at their positions later. But does it seem like all of these guys are pulling their weight and playing out of their minds? Because I was really impressed to see these numbers today.
Well, they're definitely pulling their weight and then some. To call them stars, I think they're playing like stars now.
They are, yeah.
I think to establish yourself as a star in the big leagues, you probably have to do it for more than a half of a year. But yeah, I mean, they're doing so right now. I mean, and it's what they're doing outside of Seiya and Tucker against right-handed pitching. Michael Busch is slashing .319, .406 with a .608 slug, 1.014 against righties on the season. That's superstar level production. Now, he hasn't got a ton of appearances, only 47 ABs versus lefties, 191, 269, 362. So, to me, one of the qualifications of being a star or a superstar is you have to play versus both sides. So that's why I want to see Michael Busch get the opportunity to play versus lefties so we could evaluate him there. Because maybe if he played every day, maybe his OPS would be the same. And then you really have to consider him a superstar level bat. But if he didn't play every day or he doesn't play every day, maybe his numbers are closer to somebody like Pete's, which is still outstanding. But, Pete's numbers versus right-handed pitching are really good too, about the same as Busch's. It's just he plays every single day. To answer the question, though, do the Cubs have 4 stars? I don't know. I don't know how that works. That's one where, talk to me next year. Like, baseball's so weird. Like, remember a couple years ago, the Rangers, and they won the World Series, and, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia. It's just, it feels like the league has become so year to year at this point, and there's very few guys that you could count on every single year to be great. And Tucker has proven that. And so that's why he gets that label. And then Pete, because it's so electrifying and it feels like the thing that's put the Cubs over the top, that's why he gets that label. But, somebody like Seiya, I think Seiya has proven that he is absolutely one of the, top 20-ish, top 15-ish hitters in baseball every year. Is that a star? I don't know. We could play that game,
Yeah, well, that's why I'm really encouraged, because the Cubs at least have those 2 guys who are proving their bona fides, and especially Tucker, but now PCA, potentially he'll hopefully continue that, for years in the years ahead.
Right.
But the way that this foursome is, it just seems like Michael Busch really emerged just in the last 10, 14 days.
Right.
Where it was more to our attention of, whoa, what is this guy doing? Really ranking first on the Cubs in multiple categories.
Right.
But one or two. And even then, he's only a couple points off of Tucker. And so I think moving forward, this weekend, Sam, if we peek ahead a little bit, it does look like the Cubs are going to face Max Fried. Does look like they're going to face Carlos Rodon.
Oh, boy.
Justin Turner. You could make a case that he should be in there, one or both of those games. But no. The last series before the break, keep Busch in there. Let's see if PCA does well against those challenging matchups. And we'll see if they could compete. Do you believe that Seiya's rise this year, and I know there's a lot of people on base in front of him, can't necessarily control that. But is it experience that's getting him to the next level? It took a while, but he is here finally.
I really, I think having a guy like Tucker is taking him to the next level.
Thank you. Why don't the Cubs want to admit that? Why is Craig Counsell afraid to say that Kyle Tucker, one guy, made the lineup better? It's okay.
I just think for so many reasons. Now, the counterpoint would be Ian Happ's having a below average offensive campaign right now.
Okay.
And so, why has Tucker helped Seiya, not Happ? Well, I just feel like with Seiya, it always felt the mental part of the game was really significant. And it is for everybody, but like with him, he just worked so hard and he would be so down on himself. And to just have a guy to come in and clearly be the best guy on the team, I just think it's done wonders hitting behind him. Counsell says, well, hitting with runners on base is easier. I'm actually not sure that that's true. See Dansby Swanson for that.
Yeah.
But I just think he's changed his approach. He has a guy now in Tucker that is so good at seeing pitches, so good at laying off pitches. It allows him, it enables him to be more aggressive. And I just think it's common sense to me when you add a guy like that, that's that talented, that's that polished, that's that professional, it rubs off on certain guys. And we talked about it. I watched it a couple weeks ago. The day they got Tucker, we were just as excited for Seiya as we were for Tucker.
Absolutely.
And he's done it in a different way. But and I think that's part of his growth too. Like, Seiya, he used to take the first pitch like every at bat.
Oh my gosh, it was infuriating. Times.
And so, I really do believe, and that's not to take credit away from Seiya. It's in support of Seiya that it's just, hey, some guys you need another guy, and then that just changes your perspective. It helps you out, and I think that's what we've seen.
I always thought the only way you can know if one player made that big of a difference, if a star level talent made that big of a difference, was to insert them in the lineup. And now they've done it. And is the evidence not there? I think it's pretty clear. We don't have to get the gavel out. And, does Tom Ricketts have access to a computer? Because clearly this one player is making quite an impact on this team.
I really hope that we have something to talk about next week, or else, you know what I mean?
Right, a trade with the Pirates for Mitch Keller. Coming up next, we're going to preview Cubs Twins. Also stick around for seventh inning stretch sound. Fellow podcaster Alex Cooper, one of the worst renditions of the stretch in Cubs history. And we're going to play that audio for you and also visit the Wayback Machine for a couple other renditions as well. Cubs Twins next.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports, they're in full swing. And whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, just like the United States and Mexico in the Gold Cup final last night, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. Folks, here's a bet that I like, and it's about our beloved. Right now on FanDuel, as we speak, the over-under win total for the Cubs is 95.5, and you could get the over at plus 106. So what they're saying is it's more likely the Cubs finish under 95.5. That's minus 130. But you could jump on the over at plus 106. This team's going to make some trades, folks. They're going to get better really quickly. Why can't they get to 96 wins? I believe they can. So if you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started.
All right, Cubs Twins this week. And when you said the beloved, I thought it was a reference to the Bears. And
no,
so,
I wouldn't do that.
I was disappointed to just learn that the over-under on FanDuel for the Bears is 6.5.
No, it isn't.
Let's get back to Cubs Twins.
That's not true, is it?
Well, that's what I saw. So
no,
the probables,
it's 8.5.
I saw, unless my screen is broken. So Imanaga, Woods, Richardson.
I got to look that up.
Horton, Festa, Ray, and Paddock. The Twins are 43-47 and 5-5 in their last 10. Byron Buxton, the lone all-star representative, he's slashing 270, 334, 544. 20 home runs, 11 doubles, 16 stolen bases. Former Cedar Rapids Colonel when I was there back in 2013. Harrison Bader is a Twin nowadays. He hit 3 home runs last week. Cubs are missing Joe Ryan.
Woo!
But Woods Richardson has allowed only is this right? Only 8 hits and 4 runs in his last 16 innings. Wow. Festa and Paddock haven't been as good. Duran, Jax, and Colombe make for a nice relief trio out of the bullpen up there in the Twin Cities. Sam, for me, this has the same feel as Cubs Guardians last week at Wrigley.
Yep. Say it again.
If they could get out the brooms, great. But I really think they're going to win 2 out of 3.
Well, all I heard was 3 righties are starting for Minnesota.
Yes.
That's all I heard, which means it could be
right.
No, you can cut me off. And
you have your best pitcher pitching.
I think the other guy,
not right now, but
Sunday's guy.
You have Imanaga.
Yep.
Plus Horton and Ray with great bounce back outings their last time.
I think this is the type of series you're going to have to get the bats out. You're going to have to score 5+, 6+ runs. And I think they can, and I think they will. So yeah, not a very good Minnesota team.
No, they might be selling.
One that I don't, and I just want to say this, one that I don't particularly find too exciting to watch. I know Buxton's a stud. Glad he's put it all together. It's good for the game of baseball. Correa is a guy,
he's still around, huh?
I don't know, how much what his health and stuff like that is physically, but it's just, I know. He's not been the guy that, he was, him and Trey Turner were 1 and 2, that free agency, right? And then it was Bogarts and Dansby. And as much as we get out on Dansby, I mean, he, for the value that the Cubs got, they really won that offseason, with some of these other guys. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe Carlos Correa's wins above replacement currently right now is 0.
Well, and he really stole the offseason that winter because he signed with 3 different teams.
Right. So, this is a series I expect the Cubs to win. I expect the Cubs to win this series, and I would be disappointed if they didn't. And going back to what we discussed last Sunday, not yesterday, but the Sunday prior, this is you always like that cadence. This is an opportunity to start stacking some wins. I know
it really is.
I know going to the
and
Bronx.
The Yankees are in free fall.
I know going to the Bronx this weekend with a struggling Yankee team. Again, I know people are tired of hearing it, but I heard 2 lefties start for the Yankees. I'm immediately concerned about that series. Immediately.
Well, Fried is a Cy Young favorite.
Yeah, and Rodon, he could pitch.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity. You've won 5 of your last 6. You go to this Minnesota team that is teetering on the line of being a true seller. Win 2 out of 3, and you've won 7 and 9. But maybe you could get the brooms out.
And I'm taking a look at their relievers this week in terms of possible future Cubs.
Right.
The American League Central right now is an intriguing trade partner for the Northsiders as well as other teams, but I would say especially Jed Hoyer and his front office. So I'm going to be keeping my notepad out for the Twins bullpen, especially. Also, Willie Castro, the possible switch hitting acquisition for the Cubs. Going to be taking notes on him as well.
Just some really underperforming guys on this team. I mean,
big time.
Royce Lewis was a guy that a lot of people liked. He's slashing 212, 285, 305. Correa, 256, 299, 379.
Yes.
Correa always praised for his eye and his on-base ability.
Not anymore.
Yeah, this is just not a great lineup. But again, for some reason, I feel like they're going to score some runs.
What reason would that be as you currently sit in your chair there in the Chicago suburbs?
Yeah, on a nice, finally, a nice, bearable afternoon.
Right.
Well, first of all, Ray and Horton aren't exactly, Tom Seaver and Pedro Martinez, so.
Well, you saw Horton deal in person.
No, I did. I just, my instinct says the Cubs are going to need a score this week, and there's just going to be a lot of offense. I'm really interested to watch Shota pitch because I wasn't a huge fan of his last outing, but like Shota always does, he gave the Cubs a good chance, and hopefully, he could just give up one solo shot.
Yeah, and right now, Sam, it's the projected later this week as of right now. Even you don't have Imanaga pitching in the finale, but the projections right now are Flexen, Rodon, and then Boyd, Fried. That would be exciting. And
Stroman,
Imanaga, Warren, Will Warren in the finale. So,
all right,
we'll have plenty of time to talk Cubs Yankees. Was there anything from over the weekend in terms of trade wins?
Yeah.
That caught your eye? Because I'm hearing more about the White Sox as a trade partner.
What's caught my eye is that this third wild card is going to make it really hard for the Cubs to get a true ace. I was listening to David Kaplan talk about that this afternoon.
Me too. Yeah.
And it really does make sense. You got to start watching. Cubs have a good opportunity this week. Beat the Twins. Force some sellers, right? The Royals forced to sell. And that's why a lot of people go, well, why can't they make a move right now? Because a lot of these teams aren't sure what they want to do yet. Mm-hmm. And you just want to see these teams, the Diamondbacks, the Royals, the Red Sox, the Twins, Cleveland, whoever it is. You want to see them start to, well, look, I think the Guardians are, I think they're there. But, get to a point, because I think it's crazy. Like, I think it's crazy to not sell. I understand you got to make money and things like that. But if you're 4.5, 5 games out of the last wild card spot, you got to hurdle 4 teams. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just think the logical,
is it false hope, right?
Yeah, unless there's a money part of it, it's like we have to be interesting. We have to be. Mm-hmm. But I just there's a lot of teams right now that are teetering, and I think it would be great for the Cubs if those teams could just become clear sellers.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm paying attention to the Royals a little bit more this week with Lugo, and you mentioned someone else our last show too, right? Or was that with Justin Steele?
What did I say? Soroka.
Bubic. Yes. Yeah.
I believe it's Chris Bubic.
Yeah. That was the other surreal part about the watch along, is Justin Steele's like talking trades with you.
Right.
He's like, yeah, Mitch Keller would be a great fit. He's really good friends with Tyone. There's really something to listen to.
Right.
All right. Coming up next, What?
It was a good time.
It really was. I've I've thought about replaying it a couple times.
You know what else is going to be a great time? Once we conclude the show tonight, I'm going to be getting myself a nice sandwich and watching Peralta Yamamoto.
I was going to ask you that off air, but you brought it on air.
Yeah, I did. I did do that.
I'm looking forward to that actually myself.
Ohtani's going to hit a ball to La Crosse, Wisconsin.
I was going to say Oshkosh.
You know, he's going to hit a ball out of the stadium off of Peralta. So,
oh, that's good. All right. Well,
I'm excited
Sam,
for this next segment.
If given the chance, would you do the 7th inning stretch at Wrigley?
Is that a trick question?
Not really.
Of course.
Oh, it'd be fun, right?
Yeah, I could sing a little bit.
We sang it at my wedding as well as Go Cubs Go.
I know how to work a crowd.
And you really do.
You know, I'm not Frank Sinatra, but I could make something happen.
We take a listen to 7th inning stretches of
better than these.
Yesterday's past and also years past next. Today's episode is brought to you by our great partners at Open Phone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Nope. You called the next one, then the next one, then the one after that. That's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need Open Phone, the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or your computer. Have you juggled 2 phones before to keep business and personal separate? Open Phone has solved that with one click of a button. Now your whole team can share one number and respond to customers like a shared inbox. No more who's handling this, who's taking that call, and so on. And the AI agent handles after-hour calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer ever again. Open Phone is offering Locked On Cubs listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OPENPHONE.com/LockedOnMLB. If you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers at openphone.com/LockedOn. All right, 7th inning stretch was actually not aired Sunday night on ESPN, and I wasn't able to confirm if it aired on 670 The Score, Cubs Radio Network. Usually they play it, but I guess maybe they don't every time. But I think it probably did. But I have clean audio here of Alex Cooper on Sunday night, a popular podcast host. And I do want to play this because I like to have a good time. And for whatever reason, I got rid of the soundboard a couple months ago. And with this episode, it's coming back. So I also have Ozzy Osbourne and Mike Ditka in the queue. So let's take a listen to this first.
All right, Daddy Gang and Cubs fans, are you ready? You've never seen something like this before. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care. Never come back. So root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes. You're out at the old ball game.
That's a bad take.
Well,
Do you want me to comment or leave it?
do you want to?
Well, I mean, she made a mockery of it.
A mockery.
Yeah, she made a mockery.
It's a great part of the stadium experience.
She made a mockery of it, and credit the fans for catching on and rightfully booing the performance.
Oh man, we were kids for this. I believe I was 12 years of age.
See, the other two I think are so bad that they're actually good and entertaining in a
The
way.
Ditka one is so good.
Yeah, because it's just
I'm gonna have to get up during that one.
it's just on brand for their personalities. But this last one was just somebody that just didn't, and obviously she's tremendously talented, tremendously successful. Didn't do their homework.
All right, here's Ozzy.
I want to hear a real crazy crowd start singing with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? I can't hear you. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and let's go out to the garden. Let's go out to the river. Take me in. I don't remember what I have to do. 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs. Come on, don't mess around. Let's get some runs, guys.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.
There's Ozzy.
I don't think a comment's necessary.
The Cubbies.
And we have one more.
Mike Ditka has made it. And boy, am I happy. As happy as all of you. Mr. Ditka, please.
A 1, and a 2, and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. All these happy nuts like Roger Jackson. I don't care if I ever get back. I will roll up for the whole team. If they don't win the game. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
It feels like with that one, I never heard Stone's part. So maybe he was late and in a rush.
Yeah, he was late to the booth.
I actually remember Osbourne's. I think I was watching that game.
Yeah, me too, I think.
But yeah, those two are famous.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Gordon. I didn't grab his audio either. He's a famous one too.
I don't remember his.
Called it Wrigley Stadium in 2005.
Oh, see, that seems more like the Alex Cooper situation.
The Cubbies.
Right.
So, like, was she? Because, like, it feels like that could have gone fine. It's just like changing
the
her
crowd
voice.
really turned on her.
Well, because she changed her voice. Like she made
Absolutely.
it. She made it seem like it was a joke to her.
Right.
Take me out to the ball.
Right. She changed. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go normal cadence.
Right.
No, it just seemed like it was a joke. So.
All right. Well, that's the show. And
That was
Go Cubs.
what year was Ditka? Like early 2000s?
98.
Oh, 98. Okay.
Yeah.
And Osbourne was what year?
The Cubbies.
The Osbourne one, I can't take that one. Like that was probably the hardest I've ever.
Real crazy crowd start singing with me.
I know it's bad.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
it's
you and
bad.
I will do it one day.
I mean, I'm not going to do this.
I think a duet would be harder though,
It'd be hard. Yeah.
because we're
Difficult.
not singers, and just adding two people that aren't singers to the mix could be challenging.
That's a bad take.
That's possible for sure. So. All right. Sam will be here after Cubs Twins on Tuesday night.
We'll see.
And this is Locked On Cubs on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis.
Bears 8.5.
on
By
national-
the way, you saw the 6.5 adjusted. That was an
Oh.
adjusted at -210.
Fine. Well, that makes me feel a little better with Ben Johnson and company. Find MLB Game Night on the Locked On MLB channel on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. All right. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.
Yeah, I really enjoy that.